with all due respect, if there's anybody who does not like to travel to America, it's me. Ask anybody. My wife is an American. My children are American. Their parents, my wife are Americans. For Christ's sake, in 2007, this issue came up. That, oh, my wife, I thought, what's my business? Let anybody show me where I bought a house, which I can't pass through. If my wife and the parents are saying, look, these are our grandchildren. We give this house to you. My wife, now they are still teenagers. Hold it in trust for them. Let anybody in this world say, the money passed through I can B to I can Z. When I was running election, this matter came up. When my wife was to be confounded at the court of appeal, this matter, so all kinds of things. I saw they say, oh, well, it had been found that Wike put so they have what how many millions?
That's an awful lot of property there.
Why not ask yourself, can they publish it?
No, it's been published.
It's not published. It's not correct. That's a show where it's not correct. Why they put this, oh, this house?
But is the house not in the name of your wife and children?
What is my business?
You don't know what your wife and children own?
What I'm saying is this: they are all Americans. My wife's parents are Americans. So, if they gave them a house, what's my business? I never bought any house.
Million of dollars worth of property.
You call these millions as if we're talking about thousands, which I can't really pass. Who bought it in their name? You see, it is not in Nigeria here where you can buy something and you can hide it. You cannot buy a house of even $100,000 that the documentation will not show. Let anybody say, this, look at the money passed through Nyesom Wike's account, or it passed through his friend's account. See, let anybody say so. This thing they are talking about from 2008. 2008. They will carry it as if, as I was a governor, as I was a minister. Nothing like that. It's not correct. But that is not my business. If anybody else, bring it up. It's not when I take a decision to do something. In order to divert attention, you go and say, oh, yes, we did this. Oh, he gave his son 2,000 hectares of land in Asokoro. I mean, what kind of stories are that? Bring the document, let us see.
A storm is brewing, not in Abuja, not in Port Harcourt, but thousands of miles away, in the quiet streets of Florida, United States. Here, in Winter Springs, properties records list 3 houses bought in cash, transferred through quiet claim deeds, and connected not directly to Nigerian's Minister of the Federal Capital Territory and former Governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, but to his wife and 3 children. For weeks, Nigerian's political space has been shaken by these allegations that Wike, one of the most influential politicians in the country, secretly funneled public funds abroad to buy houses for his family. The claims are bold. The documents are damning, at least according to those who filed them, and the denials equally strong. In this video, we follow the trail, the allegations, the petition, the denials, and the political angle to this development. This is Wike, U.S. mansions and public funds, what the records say. The story broke like a crack in dry wood. First a spark, then a fire. In August of 2025, reports surfaced that Nyesom Wike's 3 children were linked to properties in the United States, specifically in Winter Springs, Florida. These were not rented apartments. They were houses purchased outright, paid in cash. The documents, according to the reports, were clear property deeds, listed names connected to Nyesom Wike's family. Quiet claim deeds, a type of legal document used to transfer ownership, were filed. suggesting these were not speculative claims but transactions recorded in U.S. property registry. According to Business Day Nigeria, they ran the headline, "Allegations of Foreign Properties, Rock Minister Wike." Sahara reporters followed with their own piece showing property details. Nigerian lawyer published further commentary. Soon, the story was everywhere. Why did it matter? Because cash purchases raised red flags in America. Most large properties deals go through banks, where records can be traced, loans can be scrutinized, and regulators can monitor suspicious flows of money. But when someone pays cash hundreds of thousands of dollars, it bypasses those layers. So the question began, where did the money come from? Why was it tied to Wike's children? And why in Florida? Florida, of course, is not just palm trees and sunshine. It is also known as a hotspot for real estate investment by wealthy foreigners, some legitimate, others not. U.S. watchdog groups have long warned that Florida properties have been used as safe havens for laundered money. Now, imagine the topic. Back in Port Harcourt, residents complain about crumbling roads, unemployment, hospitals without drugs, schools without roofs. In Abuja, as FCT minister, Wike is the center of billions of naira projects, and in the middle of this, allegations arise that his children are leaked to quiet suburban houses thousands of miles away. The story resonated because it fits a pattern Nigerians know too well: the powerful life one live at home, loud, dramatic, filled with politics, and another life abroad, quiet, shielded, and funded by questionable wealth. This is not just an allegation, it was a symbol. And symbols in politics are a powerful weapon. If the allegations had remained only in Nigerian newspapers, they might have faded, but they did not. At this point in this video, enters Omoyele Sowore, activist, publisher of Sahara reporters, and perennial challenger of Nigeria's political elite. Sowore went further than commentary. He filed a petition addressed to the Attorney General of Florida. The petition demanded that authorities investigate the property purchase linked to Wike's family. On paper, it was straightforward. These properties exist. They were bought in cash. The names tied to them link back to Wike with demand scrutiny, he said. Why is this significant? Because U.S. law is strict when it comes to political exposed persons, PEPs. These are individuals in position of power or their close relatives who may be at risk of using their influence for illicit enrichment. Real estate transactions by PEPs often fall under the radar of anti-money laundering frameworks. If Florida takes up the petition, investigators can demand bank records, title companies, and dig into whether the funds used were legitimate. To understand the weight of this, we must step back. For decades, America's property market has been used as the safe haven for questionable funds. Reports by watchdogs like Global Financial Integrity show billions from developing nations into U.S. mansions, condos, and estates. From Russia oligarchies to Latin American politicians, from Angolan tycoons to Nigerian elites, the pattern is familiar. And Nigeria is no stranger. Former Delta State Governor James Ibori laundered millions through foreign properties. Desiani Alison Madueke, former petroleum minister, faced investigation tied to London mansions and among others. Even the former governor of Bayelsa State, Alamesia, was once arrested in London with cash and property records. So, when Sowore's petition landed in Florida, it wasn't a weird conspiracy. It was a warning flare. If Florida acts, this won't just be a Nigerian headline. It will be an American case file. Nyesom Wike is not a man who hides. He thrives in confrontation. When the allegation hit the airwaves, he didn't cover. Instead, he came out swinging. In a press briefing, he declared, "I do not own houses in America. If anyone has evidence, let them bring it. Show the document. I challenge anyone." It was classic Wike, defiant, confident, daring opponents to put up or shut up. But this is where the narrative twists, because documents were already circulating, property records from Seminole County, Florida, listing names connected to his children. So, why deny so boldly? Some analysts argue that Wike's denial was strategic. In Nigerian politics, public image matters as much as facts. By rejecting the allegation outright, he paints himself as victim of political persecution. His alliance frame it as propaganda by enemies jealous of his influence in Rivers and in Abuja. Others argue that denial is survival. Once a politician admits even the smallest link, the door opens to investigation, lawsuits, and international scrutiny. Denial, therefore, becomes a shield. But the contradiction lingers. If there is nothing to hide, why do the names appear? Is it all false? Why do the records exist? This is the coalition of two narratives. Here is where the story becomes bigger than Wike, the legal side. Under Nigerian law, public officers are expected to declare assets before and after office. If undeclared foreign assets surface, it breaches the code of conduct. The EFCC, Nigeria's anti-graft agency, is empowered to investigate, but enforcement is weak in Nigeria. Political will is selective, cases drag for years, and convictions are rare. In the US, however, rules differ. Cash purchases of real estate above certain threshold triggers scrutiny under anti-money laundering laws. Title companies must file reports if transactions look suspicious. If a link to corruption is established, US authorities can freeze assets, even seize them. That's why Sowore's petition is so critical. If Florida takes it seriously, Wike may face a battle not just in Nigeria's noisy media space, but in America's quiet courtroom. Now to the political side. Wike is not just any politician. He is a heavyweight in PDP and also in the APC and the Tinubu government. The man who bankrolled campaigns, who fought bitterly against Atiku Abubakar, and who eventually aligned with Bola Tinubu's APC to secure the FCT ministerial position. This makes him both powerful and vulnerable. Powerful because he has leverage in Abuja. Vulnerable because enemies abound within PDP, within APC, within Rivers politics itself, where Governor Siminalayi Fubara is locked in battle with him. For enemies, these allegations are ammunition. For his supporters, they are proof that Wike is too strong, too independent, and must therefore be attacked. At this point, let's separate facts from speculation. What we know: properties exist in Winter Springs in Florida. Documents show purchases in cash. Names tied to Wike's family appears on the dates, worth over $2 million. A petition has been filed in Florida demanding investigation. Wike has publicly denied ownership. Now to what we do not know: whether funds used came from public resources, whether US authorities have opened an active investigation, whether Nigerian agencies like EFCC will act, whether these allegations would ever translate into a court case. This uncertainty is familiar to Nigerians. For decades, scandals have erupted, dominated headlines, then faded. Few ever reach conclusion. Will this case be different, or will it join the list of endless controversies? At its core, the story is not about property, it is about trust. Every naira spent on foreign mansions is a naira not spent on Nigerian hospitals. Every dollar hidden abroad is a road not built, a teacher not paid, a clinic without medicine. The allegations against Wike cuts deep because it feeds the wound Nigerians already feel, that leaders take from the people to build elsewhere, whether the mansion in Florida truly belongs to Wike's children, whether the funds were public or private, whether the petitions leads to action. These are questions the future will answer.